Hi, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to include you in a big momentous decision. One of my cameras is going. I've arranged a part exchange deal with one of these. I'm not doing this from any sponsorship. This is my own sort of finance and things like that to try and to do things, so it's completely independent. My review of this, I thought it was quite interesting to sort of share with you. Obviously the 100V I've had for 10 months, the GR3 I've had for about 7 or 8 months. The GR3 was second hand when I bought it, but literally brand new, and the 100V was obviously brand new. I don't normally buy brand new, but in this instance I did because it interested me. I haven't owned a Fuji X100 series before, so it was new to me. And I thought I'd include you in the fact that one of them, I've got the boxes here, one of these is going in a cardboard box I've got here, and it's off tomorrow as part of a deal that I've put together for an interchangeable lens camera, just to sort of get my system that I use sorted out. So I thought I'd share with you some of my experiences. I'm going to put some photographs into this as well, so you can have a look at what I've achieved with them. I'm just going to sort of talk about things about really why, what's making my decision, which camera is going and which one am I keeping. So here we are. So obviously X100V, it's got an awful lot of rave reviews. This is still in immaculate condition. It's a beautiful looking camera. There's no doubt about it that if you're looking purely aesthetically, that is obviously better than that. There's no doubt about it. Point and shoot, where this one's more of a vintage style camera. The buttons on it, everything, you can just feel it, the clicking. It's well made, well put together, well thought about. Everything about it is just very, very well made, and it just looks great. The size of it's pretty good, the weight's not too bad in your hand. I did add an extra grip onto this, like a thumb grip and a front grip, because I've got relatively big hands, and I would say is the only one sort of negative side to it. But then the negative side is positive side, and that it's small. The viewfinder is incredibly good, way better than the Leica Q that I bought. In terms of viewfinder, photography experience of it has been great. I really enjoyed it. If you just want a simple point and shoot, stick everything on auto and you have a point and shoot. Anybody can use this. You're not going to extract the maximum out of it by doing that, but there's an awful lot to it, from the film recipes that you can put together to give it a certain look on the JPEGs, the sharpness of this new 23mm lens. It's so good. It does blow your mind, the sort of what they've achieved with this camera. If you bought one of these, I don't think you'd be disappointed. I really, really don't. I just think they are an excellent camera, and I think that my overall impression of this, I'm glad I bought it. I've enjoyed the sort of the 10 months I've had with it. The Ricoh has been a revelation. It doesn't have a viewfinder. It's not particularly a tremendous looking camera, but it's so easy to use. The buttons are intuitive. If you want to change something, it's there, it's quick and it's easy. The menu system, I have to say, makes the Fuji look complicated. The menu system is just so straightforward. The big advantage of this is it does have IBIS, and I have noticed that it does make a difference, low light, things like that, although obviously the lens on this maybe isn't clearly isn't as fast as f2. That's f2. This is 2.8, and really in terms of that, you can argue, is it that good? you know, in comparison, well, yeah, it is. This is still, even on a compact, the lens is incredibly sharp, the pictures are great, and it's a 24 megapixel, and yet even cropping in, the quality is really good. It's really there. Same with the Fuji, but it's fantastic. Part of my decision has been which one has taken me forward. The Fuji, without doubt, has led me into the fixed lens photography bracket. I've enjoyed the fact that it forces you to take a photograph. If you want to get closer, you don't just zoom, you walk in closer. If you want further away, well, you walk further back. And it's pushed my photography this past year in ways that I hadn't realised, that zooms just take it away. And actually, to the point now, I don't think I'll ever buy a zoom lens again. Prime lens is great, and that's what I'm sticking with. So I think in terms of that, if you can get away with a fixed lens, fantastic. If you're somebody that struggles maybe to think about, oh, I really prefer that flexibility, don't bother buying one of these, because it's a particular mindset that you have to adopt with that. And the same goes with the GR3. It's exactly the same. It's a wider lens. It's a 28mm equivalent. And this is where I'm going to have to ask you to come along with me a little bit. If you are looking at likes of, say, Leica, and I've been fortunate, I've got my second-hand Leica Q, it suddenly dawned on me that this is a cheap Leica camera. Stick with me on this one. 28mm, same as Leica Q. IBIS. Leica Q has got in-body stabilization. It shoots DNG files, just like a Leica Q. So in many respects, this has an awful lot of shared features that the Leica has. And I think if you are looking for a camera that's got that kind of thought process to it, the GR3 is probably a good one to consider. The Fuji is a Fuji. Yes, you can, and I've put square hood lens hood onto this to make it look more Leica, but the actual feel of it and the look of it is not Leica. You have to like Fuji look. If you're looking for a Leica look, the GR3 is your closest you can get to that, because they share it at the same platform, DNG file. And when it actually comes to putting it into Photoshop, I would say without doubt the files from the Ricoh GR3 are better than the files from the Fuji. There's more flexibility, there's more use of them, and extract more colours, I think, from it. Now people will say, oh, that's rubbish, Fuji's are good, and that's fine, but it's my opinion. And I think that that's the whole thing. The one thing I do like about the GR3 is I can just put it in my pocket. You do have to be careful, because when you switch it on, obviously the lens comes out and it comes back in again. That's just going to suck in dust and things like that. And eventually I can see this having to probably go off and get serviced or something like that. But part of my decision is that I've thought, well, I need an interchangeable lens. I actually bought and sold the same camera this past few months, the Canon, and it's a system I'm never going to go back to. But again, that's my personal opinion. I was a big Canon fan, and it's just changed. So I suppose if you're looking for your main camera to go out on the street, it will work with landscapes, and you don't mind carrying something, and it will be a carrying. It won't be just, you can just easily walk in with it. It won't go in your pocket. You won't go wrong with a Fuji. You really won't. And brand new, yeah, they're about £1,200–1,300. Second hand, you pick one up for about £1,000. The GR3 second hand, you pick it up for around about £500–600. And to be perfectly honest, I've watched a lot of reviews, and it does sort of come down to the fact, really, if you want the look of a vintage camera, you pay the extra for it. If you're not bothered about that and you're looking for something with features and what it can achieve, the GR3 is just as good, if not in some aspects better, than the X100V. And that's been my opinion throughout. And I think one of my big deciding factors is which camera has taken me the furthest, which camera do I feel I've achieved more with, which camera do I think, yeah, that's the one I want to take out with me, which camera has allowed me to express myself as a photographer. And it comes back to it time and time again. And I think it comes down to the fact of, if I had to save one, they were both on a ledge, about to fall in the water, which one would I go for? Which one would I save from falling over? GR3. So therefore, my Fuji X100V is going off tomorrow and part exchange. I will reveal what I part exchanged it for, hopefully in the next week or so. But this is just a short sort of little video just to sort of go through what's going on. I'm going to leave you with some of the pictures from both cameras, but my personal recommendation is the GR3. One little caveat to that: if you live in an area where maybe the weather's not so great, that's not weather sealed, and you're going to have to keep putting that away. That is, once you put the filter on there. Both cameras I'd highly recommend. Both cameras you would love, but for me, I would not, and I will not. That's staying with me until it breaks, or whatever. I am not selling that. That I absolutely love. Freedom, the ability. I'm not even bothered to have a viewfinder. I thought I would, because I really do like to get behind a viewfinder. And when I'm not taking my Leica Q out, this is the one I would have with me. It's better than any phone, anything like that. Fantastic. Really, really recommend that one. And price wise, buy it and then have about £400 left over, compared to buying that, because to be honest, you're going to struggle to see the difference, and even more so when you've actually edited your photographs, because I found 9 times out of 10 the photographs I've edited from this are better than this. But that's my own personal opinion. If you stayed to the end of the video, good for you. So on that thing, please like, please subscribe. There will be some more out and about sort of work as much as I possibly can. Obviously it's a bit sort of restrictive at the moment, but 2021, here we come. Take care now. Bye bye.